Los Angeles, a light rainy afternoon. The sun had just set, weak rays of sunlight penetrated through thick clouds, shining on Caitriona Balfe's pale face. The actress famous for playing Claire Fraser in Outlander stepped out of the car with a heavy heart. In her hand were text messages that she never wanted to see. Sam Heughan, her husband, her co-star, the person she once trusted, now made her feel like her whole world was collapsing. It all started when Sam participated in a new film project in London. Caitriona still trusted him completely, because Sam was a gentleman husband, always loving and caring for her. They used to share happy moments, walking together in the park, laughing in the living room of their luxury apartment in Edinburgh, and planning a peaceful future together. But that trust made Caitriona even more hurt when the truth was revealed. One day, while Sam was away at a movie press conference, Caitriona happened to see a text message on his phone. The message was short, but enough to shatter everything. "I can't wait any longer. You are my everything." The sender was a young female colleague who had just joined the film project with Sam. Caitriona felt like her heart was being squeezed. She stood there for a few minutes, her heart pounding, her hands trembling as she held the phone. The following days were a series of painful days. Sam became distant, avoided Caitriona's eyes, and often used work as an excuse to not be at home. Caitriona tried to confront him, but every time she asked, Sam just kept silent or answered vaguely, making her feel the distance between them growing wider and wider. In Caitriona's mind, every happy memory suddenly turned into an unending pain. She remembered the first time she met Sam on the set of Outlander. His eyes were full of passion. His gentle smile made her heart flutter. She remembered the evenings they cooked together, talked about the future, about wanting to have children and build a happy little family. Everything was now just a memory, destroyed by betrayal. Caitriona began to feel mentally broken. She lost sleep, lost her appetite, and often sat alone in her apartment, looking out at the street with an empty heart. Close friends noticed a clear change in her. Fiona, a friend who had been with Caitriona for many years, recalled, "Caitriona used to be a strong, vibrant person. But now, she is like a shadow of herself." Every time she mentioned Sam, her eyes would turn red and filled with pain. Meanwhile, Sam Heughan was not having it easy either. He faced pressure from the media, from public opinion and from his own conscience. His image, the ideal husband, the beloved actor, was now cracked. Entertainment magazines were full of stories about the affair, with headlines like, "Sam Heughan, the betrayal husband, shocking love triangle on the set of Outlander." Each story made Sam feel crushed, but he understood that it was his own actions that caused it all. Caitriona had hoped to save her marriage. She planned to meet Sam at a quiet cafe in central London, where they could talk frankly without being disturbed. When they met, Caitriona tried to hold back her pain, but her voice was still trembling. "Sam, why? Why her?" Sam bowed his head, silent, his eyes flashing with regret but not enough to soothe Caitriona's heart. Do you still love me?" Caitriona asked, her voice choked. Sam looked at her silently, but could not say a word. He knew no apology could make up for this betrayal. Caitriona left the bar, tears streaming down her cheeks, feeling like her heart had been torn apart. After that, Caitriona decided to temporarily withdraw from all entertainment activities. She refused interviews, blocked social media and spent time for herself. These days were the most painful time of her life. She often walked alone on the beach, watching the waves crash on the shore, trying to find a little peace in the pain. However, the pain did not only come from Sam's betrayal. Caitriona also had to face rumors and malicious gossip from the public. Fans were divided into two sides. One sympathized with Caitriona, the other criticized Sam. Every comment on social media made her more hurt. Sometimes she burst into tears, wondering if love was still trustworthy. In her private room, Caitriona started writing a diary. The lines were written with tears falling. "I gave my heart to Sam. I trusted him, loved him, even dreamed of a future with our children. But it was all an illusion. He chose to betray, and I was left with only pain. Despite the pain, Caitriona still found a way to stand up. She realized that happiness could not be placed entirely on someone who betrayed her. She started focusing on her work, returning to the set of Outlander, but with a different spirit, no longer the naive girl, but a more mature, stronger woman who knows how to appreciate herself. It wasn't easy for Sam either. He attended marriage counseling, trying to find a chance to make amends. But Caitriona kept her distance, because she knew that some wounds can't be healed immediately. Sam occasionally sent apologetic messages, but Caitriona just skimmed through them and didn't respond. She needed time to heal, and didn't want to hurt herself again. A year later, Caitriona has gradually found her smile again. She attended charity events, met fans, and returned to work with full passion. Fans witnessed a different Caitriona, strong, proud, and full of inner strength. They didn't forget her painful past, but appreciated how she overcame the tragedy. Sam Heughan, although still in love with Caitriona, realized that love cannot be forced. He learned to respect her decision, and gradually corrected his mistakes. He also spent time focusing on his work and self-development, but his image in the public eye was no longer intact. Caitriona and Sam's story did not end with a happy hug or a happy ending on screen, but sent a strong message. Betrayal can break everything, but inner strength and courage will help people stand up and continue walking, even though their hearts are still in pain. On another afternoon, Caitriona stood on the beach, watching the rolling waves and breathing deeply the salty air of the ocean. She smiled, a calm smile but containing pride. She knew that she had survived the biggest storm of her life. Tragedy could not kill her. On the contrary, it has trained her to become stronger, more mature, and to appreciate herself more than ever. Sam stood there, watching Caitriona from afar, a feeling of regret filling his heart. He knew that some things, once lost, could never be regained. But he still hoped that, despite the distance, Caitriona would find true happiness, a happiness that he no longer had the power to interfere with. Their life was not a fairy tale, without a perfect smile or a perfect ending. But it was the wounds, the losses, and even the tears that created a real story, full of emotion and truth. Caitriona Balfe proved that, even after the deepest tragedy, people can still stand up, find inner strength and continue walking with pride and faith in the future. And in the Los Angeles sky at dusk, as the clouds passed by, Caitriona walked steadily. She is no longer a woman who collapsed in the pain of betrayed love, but a living symbol of resilience, of the ability to recover and of one's own strength in the face of all tragedy.